I will say that CNN has really taken it too seriously, and I think they've hurt themselves very badly, very, very badly. And what we want to see in the United States is honest, beautiful, free, but honest press. We want to see fair press. I think it's a very important thing. We don't want fake news.
President Trump, CNN is fake news. Ha ha! I tell you, Walker and McBreen and the rest of the great crew are making some great memes. If you just joined us, obviously memes are little short videos, graphics, images that in, I'd say, less than 10 to 15 words or images tell a story. Like Trump as Luke Skywalker, his face superimposed over Luke Skywalker in episode 4, flying the trench, firing the torpedoes down the reactor shaft and destroying the Death Star, which is replaced by the symbol of CNN. It doesn't literally mean we want to blow up CNN. We don't want any violence against them. We're not calling for active rioting like Newsweek or Time. We're not calling for killing the president or killing members of Congress or hashtag hunt Republicans. We're simply saying we have free speech to show the president metaphorically in battle, in hand-to-hand combat, defeating you. And we don't like you, and we don't appreciate you, and we know you're a pack of liars who were down almost 95% in your ratings in the last decade. They've had a small dead cat bounce, but even that's going down right now. Before I go any further into all the big news, I started a $200,000 contest about a month ago that Mike Cernovich had the idea to do, to say basically CNN is terrorist, when Kathy Griffin put out the severed head, bloody image of Trump to push that whole meme. And we've paid out, I guess, like 20 grand of it. Folks have done a great job. But CNN and other live TV, they've been really sequestering themselves in a fortress mentality behind closed doors, because you have to legally and lawfully get live on TV. They've got to be outside to do it and say Infowars.com, CNN's fake news. To get the 2,500, just show CNN is fake news or CNN is ISIS to get the 1,000. And we just do it to have some fun. But that whole CNN is ISIS meme that Cernovich thought of, but CNN promotes ISIS and Arab Spring and division and open borders, so you know the shoe certainly fits. And the general public had pushed that fact that they're ISIS and supporting ISIS, but Cernovich had the idea for the contest, and then I thought, let's expand it to CNN is very fake news, and let's expand it to just showing CNN doing any fake newscast, which they've been caught several times doing, basically rewarding people for being in the info war and just focusing on CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS, and really consciously recognizing what frauds they are. And also to finance that $200,000 contest, we've come up with like 10 different T-shirts now. They're all limited edition. We're only doing one run of each. This one is on really nice soft fabric. CNN is fake news. Pretty much everybody agrees on that, like 90%. On the right-hand shoulder, Infowars.com. And on the back, InfoWars is real news. You will meet like-minded people. You will spread the word. These aren't as incendiary as Trump shirts. Probably get your dinner bought for you in conservative or libertarian areas. Might get attacked in Berkeley or downtown Austin. But this is a limited edition. CNN is fake news shirt. InfoWars is real news. This personally is my favorite shirt of the 10 or so different ones that we've put out. But they're all limited edition, available at InfoWarsStore.com. Now, out of the $200,000, which is a lot of money for us, but it's worth it to get the word out and create a meme that could bring down the globalist. I mean, just Bill Clinton's a rapist operation was on national TV hundreds of times. Trump and others believe it was probably one of the deciding factors that didn't let them claim Trump was a predator with no evidence when there's Bill Clinton in plain view. Bill Clinton and Hillary are sexual predators. She covers up for predators. He is a known predator. They wanted to project their weakness onto Trump. We projected reality back on him. So a shield for Trump. They want to say he's a Russian agent because they're on the Russian payroll. That's collapsing. Whatever they do, they blame us, okay? And so now, if we really push this CNN is terrorist, CNN is fake news in the info war, it's over. And quite frankly, you see it manifesting through memes. You see it happening through memes. A lot of folks are calling it ISIS and calling them fake news and all the rest of it without even knowing where all of that basically came from. This is such an exciting time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. So we're announcing a $20,000 chunk that'll be paid next Wednesday. Paul Watson's running it. He's in the email, our great InfoWars editor. He's in the email, contest@infowars.com. And there's a lot of different ways to win the prize. If I think you win, you win. If I don't think you do, you don't. But I want to pay out. I want to do this. I want to see victory. I want to see success. Well, now $20,000 chunk out of that is going to one winner that makes the best Trump CNN meme that has Infowars.com, myself, Paul Watson, I don't care. Promote Infowars, promote freedom, promote the true independent press. Let folks know that your free speech doesn't end when they're offended. Practice the First Amendment just like the Second Amendment so they can't eradicate it and shun it and demonize it. And you will win $20,000. Paul Watson is going to be tweeting these. He's going to be writing about these memes that come in. Unfortunately, our own crew, I think, is not eligible to be in this contest. They've already made some amazing ones, but I may have some private awards for some of the folks here in the office. But bottom line, be part of this. It could be a 30-second meme. It could be a 5-minute mini film. It could be, just an image. Whatever that iconic thing is, Paul Watson is the judge alone, $20,000. And the contest has really got people excited right now. So they want to try to target some guy, have him come out and say he's racist and bad. Turns out that was a fake person, probably made up by CNN. It was a Hispanic guy, reportedly now. It was 16 years old in Mexico that made the funny meme. Mexico loves boxing, loves wrestling, loves memes, loves comedy, just like anybody else does. They tried to make it racist, make it evil, make it hurtful. The whole thing was fake. They intimidated an imaginary person to show them buckling to CNN bullying and psychological extortion and terrorism and racketeering. That blew up in their face. And, of course, we learned, as I predicted, that it, again, was completely fake. But whatever you do, get the limited edition shirts. There's been like 10 or 11 designs. 2 or 3 of them are already sold out. This is the best design, I believe. CNN is fake news, designed by yours truly. On the back, Infowars is real news. And we've got one run of these. They just got in on the 18-wheeler today. And when it's gone, it's gone. Limited edition shirt available. By the way, it's on expensive fabric. It cost us $10 to make this shirt. So that gives you, most shirts are like $2, $3, and then they sell them for $9.95. This is like $10 to print this really nice fabric. Infowarsstore.com, and your purchase helps fund this meme contest. And you see what we're doing. You see how you're changing the world, taking action, and then we're creating the talking points based on common sense, Americana, that is being picked up by the entire world. I talk to folks that go overseas, and they come back and they say, Alex, there's Infowars stickers everywhere. People are wearing Infowars shirts that are homemade. Roger Stone said he got mobbed. Off record, he told me some interesting stuff. But on record, he got mobbed, ladies and gentlemen. And he was meeting with the heads of state and foreign governments, major leadership, and they were, say hi to Alex Jones. And again, it's not a power trip to say that. It's the reality, so you know the fact that Americana and the basic vanguard of liberty that we are promoting is spreading across the world. Now, here's what President Trump had to say on North Korea. It comes at the end of the clip. But at the first of the clip, he talks about the meme. And he talks about what CNN did Sunday, threatening to release the identity of someone if they didn't promise to ever not criticize CNN again, if they didn't promise to politically never be involved again. That's called terrorism. That's called racketeering. That's called violating federal and state law by these sniveling, third-string, drooling, Humpty-Dumpty morons, these teleprompter-reading followers at what is the Clinton News Network, the Communist News Network, the Corleone News Network, the Coward News Network, the Corleone News Network. Let's go ahead and play the clip from the president.
About this, since you started the whole wrestling video thing, what are your thoughts about what has happened since then? I mean, CNN went after you and has threatened to expose the identity of a person they said was responsible for it. I'd like your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think what CNN did was unfortunate for them. As you know now, they have some pretty serious problems. They have been fake news for a long time. They've been covering me in a very dishonest way. Do you have that also, by the way, Mr. President? But CNN and others, I mean, not others. NBC is equally as bad, despite the fact that I made them a fortune with The Apprentice, but they forgot that. But I will say that CNN has really taken it too seriously, and I think they've hurt themselves very badly, very, very badly. And what we want to see in the United States is honest, beautiful, free, but honest press. We want to see fair press. I think it's a very important thing. We don't want fake news. And by the way, not everybody is fake news, but we don't want fake news. Bad thing, very bad for our country.
How could I be so stupid? You played me. You played me. Wait a minute. All of this is a well-orchestrated plan.
You've got to love it, ladies and gentlemen. And already he's trying to turn the economy around. Foxcom's announcing it wants to move factories back to the United States. That's the Apple slave factories. The robots haven't turned out so good for him. They tried to replace the poor Chinese workers with. But the economy is slowing in new jobs in some places, like Ron Paul said months ago here. He said Trump's doing a great job on the economy. Starting to see Ron Paul more and more cheerlead for Trump. But he said, I think it's too little too late. The globalists want to kill the economy to stop Trump. And they admit they're doing that. I mean, they're in Atlantic Monthly, the most elite globalist publication in America. I mean, that's the talking points. How they want to COG overthrow Trump, how they want to suspend the last election, how they want to have the Democrats permanently with Homeland Security over elections like Venezuela or Cuba. I mean, this is so over the top, I can't even believe it. And now they're coming out saying the West will fall, Christianity will fall, white people are evil. It's like, what super ultra racism crud is this? And it's meant to divide everybody into groups. How do you control a prison? You have the Hispanic area, the white area, the black area, and if it's on the East Coast or West Coast in a big city with a lot of Asians, an Asian area. They'll break it in 3 to 4 groups. That's how you manage people. And that's a fact. And I don't want to be in a big prison. I don't want to be in my gated neighborhood, scared of everybody. I want to see upwardly mobile people in the middle class and wealthy neighborhoods of every race, color, and creed. And by the way, you see that all over the country now. And people get along, and they have fun. And their sons and daughters love each other. And that's another thing. You see, they push multiculturalism, but it was actually working. People were getting along. So now they've come in and just invoked all this division. Then they claim Trump. They claim Trump is the one creating all this division when they're the ones pushing and calling for all the over-the-top garbage. I mean, I cannot get over earlier Linda Sarsour, the big Soros-funded Islamicist. And you've got the owner of Chobani Yogurt, who's on the Federal Reserve Board of New York City, that one that runs the whole country. Just all these foreigners running our country. It's just absolutely sick. But see, in Muslim countries, 3,000 years ago, the Sahara was maybe 10% of the size it is, okay, North Africa. There were crocodiles, in the middle of the Sahara Desert, where the Sahara Desert is today. There were horses, there were zebras, it was jungly in many areas. And then the desertification began. I'm going to some history here. And there were all these populations and peoples. There were Africans, and there were Asians, and there were Caucasians, all these tribes warring and fighting over the green fields of the Promised Land that was North Africa and Eastern Africa and the Middle East. There were some desert areas, but not a lot. But just like Texas, when the German and Polish and Czech and Irish and Scottish, mainly Scottish, immigrants came in, there was 6-foot grass everywhere, except in far West Texas. There was only about 2 inches of black soil. The cows ate it down and eroded. Goats came in, ate it down, and then now it's desert in about 1/3 of the Texas that wasn't arid desert before. And the state's turning desert. and the desert's marching towards the east. That just happened in 160, 170 years. Same thing. So all these populations from Asia and Africa and what's Europe today were just in there, interbreeding, warring, slaving, killing. I mean, they've dug up Caucasian skeletons in China, from 10,000 years ago. They've dug them up in Africa. It was just a free-for-all. And so that created the Arabs. That's what they are. You test their DNA. They are African, they are Asian, and they are Caucasian. But for the last 3,000 years or so, it's been desert. And so then it wasn't about economy anymore. It was all about murdering, slaving, killing, politically taking over, and inbreeding. And so you've got a third world war zone, a Stone Age cultures and populations that come out of slavery, war, caravans, kidnapping, mass murder, thuggies, all the way, where you get the word thug, all the way from India right into North Africa, just murdering and killing. That's where you get the word thug, folks, the thuggy. Child kidnapping, devil worship, just every whacked out thing you could imagine. And now it got taken over by Islam 1,400 years ago, but it all has that in its genetics and its roots, and now it's being brought in, and it's not about working, it's not about having a job, it's about politically taking over. And that's what the Muslims do. And I'm sorry, they think I'm stupid, I'm not. A lot of Muslims want to be Americans, they want to be heretics, they want to be free, I get it, I'm all for that. But the first waves of the doctors and the scientists and the refugees from Islam, they were great people. We're not getting that now. We're getting folks that don't know what planet they're on, and it is dangerous. And they've declared jihad. Erdogan, the dictator of Turkey, bordering Europe, has declared jihad and has threatened to burn every city in Europe down, and is now activating his Islamic forces, and told Germany, I'm going to fly in during the G20, and I'm going to speak to the Muslims. And they said no. I mean, again, even the Muslims are now double-crossing the EU that sold Europe out early. They're like, Erdogan, you were supposed to sell us out in your son's time and kill all the men and take the women. And Erdogan goes, we will take them now. His top imams are saying that. The supporters of InfoWars, not just here in the U.S., but around the world, are the cutting-edge vanguard of the reawakening of the sleeping giant that is human liberty. Again, I want to thank you all humbly for fighting the globalist. I want to thank you for your financial support. You're the reasons we're still here and growing in the face of an unprecedented onslaught. That's why this July 4th, we're having some of the biggest sales ever. We have store-wide free shipping at InfoWarsStore.com through July 4th. And on top of that, we have savings as much as 40% off best-selling items. And we're talking about things you need. A wide spectrum of high-quality, non-GMO heirloom seeds, high-quality storable foods, and amazing, groundbreaking supplements and nutraceuticals. Our incredible nootropic Brain Force Plus, 30% off, and now with 20% more in each bottle. Super Male Vitality, sold out for months. Concentrated herbs that have absolutely changed my life and so many others, 30% off as well. Deep Earth, Pure Iodine, X2, now back in stock, 30% off. Z-Shield, our newest product out of the gates, 30% off because it's so amazing and I want you to try it. Emmerich's Essentials Outdoor Special. We're talking our non-nano zinc, incredibly concentrated, high-powered sunscreen, along with Emmerich's Essentials Bug Spray that's totally organic and natural and works way better than chemical brands I've personally used. On that particular special at 40% off, if you get the additional auto ship 10% off, we're talking about a loss leader. This July 4th, celebrating our republic, celebrating worldwide freedom, and celebrating returning America to its place in the world as a true shining city on a hill where people want to come here to celebrate free market and an open society, not to celebrate a globalist, politically correct cesspool of infighting and mind control.